Good morning, everyone. Just a wee reminder before we start looking at Psalm 38 that the church will be open again tomorrow evening from 7 to 9 for anybody who'd like to come in just for a quiet time of prayer. And we do appreciate your prayers just at the moment for all the folks on session and committee who will be planning to get the church ready for our return to worship on the 23rd of August. But if you do want to take that opportunity to come down to the church tonight between 7 and 9, there'll be folk there to guide you to a seat, and there'll also be the opportunity to leave some things for storehouse as well in the church. So please do take that opportunity tomorrow evening from 7 to 9. We're going to read from Psalm 38 this morning. O Lord, rebuke me not in your anger, nor discipline me in your wrath. For your arrows have sunk into me, and your hand has come down on me. There is no soundness in my flesh because of your indignation. There is no health in my bones because of my sin. For my iniquities have gone over my head like a heavy burden. They are too heavy for me. My wounds stink and fester because of my foolishness. I am utterly bowed down and prostrate. All the day I go about mourning, for my sides are filled with burning, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am feeble and crushed. I groan because of the tumult of my heart. O Lord, all my longing is before you. My sighing is not hidden from you. My heart throbs, my strength fails me, and the light of my eyes, it also has gone from me. My friends and companions stand aloof from my plague, and my nearest kin stand far off. Those who seek my life lay their snares. Those who seek my hurt speak of ruin and meditate treachery all day long. But I am like a deaf man. I do not hear, like a mute man who does not open his mouth. I have become like a man who does not hear, and in whose mouth are no rebukes. But for you, O Lord, do I wait. It is you, O Lord my God, who will answer. For I said, only let them not rejoice over me, who boast against me when my foot slips. For I am ready to fall. My pain is ever before me. I confess my iniquity. I am sorry for my sin. But my foes are vigorous. They are mighty. And many are those who hate me wrongfully, those who render me evil for good, accuse me because I follow after good. Do not forsake me, O Lord. O my God, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. One thing that you can say about the Psalms, and one thing I think we've discovered about the Psalms in these last weeks as we've gone into them, is that they are well and truly grounded in real life. There's no pretense of everything in the garden's rosy. There is reality to these Psalms. There are real struggles, real problems, real issues, real sin. But in the midst of all of that being grounded firmly in the realities of life in this fallen world, the psalmist is also always focused on God, always turning to God, battering down the door of heaven sometimes, even whenever he feels like there seems to be very little response. Even when he's crying out, how long? He's still crying out, how long, O Lord? He's still turning to God in those times. And of course, in real life, we experience sickness and death. We experience sin and guilt, both our own sin and the sin of others against us. We have friends who fail us and let us down, and we in our turn fail others. We have enemies who at times seem relentless in their attacks upon us, and all those experiences are reflected in this psalm, in Psalm 38. And it comes to a point when, with all of these experiences surrounding you and closing in on you, that there's nothing left to say. In the middle of the psalmist says, I'm mute. I've got nothing left to say to these enemies of mine. I've got nothing left to share with them. I've got nothing left to try and defend myself with. And there's nothing left to do, and you want to shut everything and everyone out. You just want to close yourself off from the world. And then along comes verse 15. But for you, O Lord, do I wait. It is you, O Lord, my God, who will answer. The one place left that he has to turn to, the one place left where he knows the answer lies, is in God. And because he is waiting for God, he can deal with the sickness that is affecting his body and know strength to face each day. He can ask for forgiveness and genuinely repent of his sin and describe how he hates the sin that has caused this guilt and this breakdown. He can admit his need, his weakness, and his need for help with those who are attacking him, with those who are opposed to him, and just the sheer exhaustion that comes from having to constantly face them down. He can admit that he's weak and that it's difficult to cope with these constant attacks. His hope in doing all this, in bringing his sickness before God and asking forgiveness and asking for help with his enemies, his reality is that his only hope is to be found in God. And so he turns to him. He begs him not to forsake him, not to be far from him. He asks him to come quickly and help him, because he knows, and the last line is key here, because he knows that God is his salvation, that only in God can he find the grace and the mercy and the love that he needs to take the next step, and the one after that, and the one after that. We are the same. Our hope is in him, and only in him. And so in the midst of whatever you're going through today, turn to him. Ask him for help, for forgiveness, for strength to face the day. And be honest with him. Be brutally honest with him if you need to be, about how things really are. And then wait and hope in him, because he is your salvation. God bless.